Your project is 3/4 framed. A storm rolls through overnight and levels it. Or a fire, or someone backs a truck up and hauls off 10 grand of copper and lumber. You call your general liability carrier expecting them to make you whole, and they tell you that's not covered. They're right, and if you're a contractor who thinks your general liability policy protects the building you're constructing, this video might save your business. I'm Crystal Jackson with Barbee Jackson Insurance. Contractor coverage is one of our specialties. We're one of the largest writers in the country, so let's talk about the single most misunderstood gap in contractor insurance. First, general liability, GL coverage, is essential. Every contractor needs it, but you have to understand what it's for. General liability coverage is for third-party claims. If you injure someone who isn't your employee, or you damage someone else's property. A visitor trips on the site and gets hurt. You crack the homeowner's driveway. That's all general liability. Notice the theme? Other people, other people's bodies, other people's property. What general liability does not cover? Here's what it does not cover: the project itself, the structure you're building, the lumber, the materials, the fixtures waiting to be installed, the building that is your work in progress. It's not the third party. So when it burns down, blows down, or gets stolen, general liability doesn't touch it. That's the gap. This particular gap is exactly what builder's risk insurance fills. You'll also hear it called course of construction insurance. Same thing. It covers the structure while it's under construction, plus the materials and equipment on site against things like fire, windstorm, theft, and vandalism. And good policies go further. They can even cover the soft costs: architect fees, permits, legal expenses, even construction loan interest that piles up if a covered loss delays the project. Temporary structures like scaffolding and fencing, even debris removal after a covered event. Now, builder's risk isn't magic either. It typically won't cover faulty workmanship or normal wear and tear. It's for sudden and accidental damage, not redoing work that wasn't done right. And earthquakes and floods are usually excluded unless specifically added or purchased separately. In a lot of the areas we write, that flood endorsement matters, so it's worth asking. When it starts, when it ends, and who needs it. Builder's risk covers the active construction phase. Once the project is complete and occupied, that policy's job is done and you move on to a permanent property policy. Who needs it? Contractors, developers, homeowners, investors. Often construction lender will flat out require it before releasing the money. Let me give you a real life example. You're building a custom home. Framing's going up, windows are on site waiting to go in. A windstorm comes through and destroys the frame and cracks half of those windows. Your general liability policy covers nothing. That's your own work product, not a third-party claim. Builder's risk, it covers the structure and those materials. And if the delay racks up extra interest or permit costs, a good policy can pick up those soft costs too, although it's not guaranteed. So you need to make sure you're asking about that or reading your policy carefully. Same event, one policy leaves you eating the loss, the other rebuilds you. The mistake that costs contractors: 1, assuming GL or general liability covers the structure. It never has, it never will. 2, a sub assuming the general contractor's builder's risk covers them. Don't assume. Verify who's named and what's covered. 3, skipping the flood and or earthquake endorsement in an area that needs it. 4, letting builder's risk lapse before the job is truly done. This is one of the biggest components and something we see happen often, where a project is so far done, the coverage lapse, and then nobody is willing to write it because there's too much construction complete. We have other videos on that topic though. If you've got a project going up right now without builder's risk, that's a gap worth closing today, before the storm, not after. Call Barbee Jackson at 850-389-2001 and we'll look at your project and make sure the structure is actually protected. Subscribe for more contractor coverage breakdowns and drop your questions in the comments and we answer them. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe so you never miss a video. See you on the next one.